Ryan?
Sherrone, could you just sum up the last 24 hours just emotionally for you and maybe the message Jim gave you guys before you ended it?
Play for yourselves, play for the team, and play for Michigan. That was the constant message. We didn't make it about him. Just play for everybody that you've always played for. Think about this game as you're in the backyard with your boys, with your friends, and you're just going to go win. This was a tournament game for us, a playoff game for us, so we knew we had to do whatever we needed to do to win. So it's been a crazy 24 hours, but at the same time, our team is built for this. Our staff is built for this, and we're all built for it.
Chris?
Guessing you weren't really only expecting JJ to throw 8 times, but just talk about the way that Blake stepped up for you and how you rode him.
Yeah, I mean, we got 2 of the best backs in the country, so at the end of the day, we do whatever it takes to win. Sometimes it's throwing more, sometimes it's running more, and we're going to do whatever we can in that game to win. We thought, as we got into the game, obviously the run game became priority, and I think our guys up front really asserted themselves to be dominant, and those backs ran super hard, so I was really excited about that.
Austin?
Sherrone, the tears after the game, where did that come from?
I mean, I'm a pretty calm guy, but there's a lot of emotions. Being here 6 years, I feel like this place is home. What Coach Harbaugh has done for me, just giving me the opportunity to be here. And this whole university and these players, these fans, I mean, this place is like home to me, home to my family. So it's very deep. And, I wear my heart on my sleeve, work extremely hard as we all do. So it meant a lot for us to get this win in this situation, to show that, and make it about the players. The players are, we have elite players, elite university. I'm just so happy for them.
Ralph?
Sherrone, when you got on the bus this morning, did you know Jim wasn't showing up?
We were ready for it. Didn't know at that moment, so we were ready at any point that it could happen or could not happen. So we were just prepared as a team and as a unit to adjust however we needed to.
Adam?
Sherrone, kind of the end of the game too. I mean, was that a release for you? Just because obviously you were emotional during the game, but
Yeah.
Did it all kind of all come out?
Yeah, I think it was built up. Just thinking about our players and how hard they've worked through all this craziness and all the situations that's going on. Put it back of how hard they have worked and the realization of that coming to fruition and watching it come to fruition against a great football team. I mean, that football team is really good. Defensively, offensively, special teams, and in all 3 phases, they're as elite as they come. So for us to come in this environment and win was huge. And then I just think about Coach, man, love that man with all my heart, and he's just such a great person, great human, great coach, and I just wanted to do it for him.
Angelique?
Sherrone, when were you notified that the order didn't come through for Jim, and how did you notify the players?
Right here when we were at the stadium, the players were they were ready. It's crazy. This team is different. They're built very different, and we let them know that Coach wasn't going to be there, and they knew that there was a possibility that he wasn't. And then when we told them here, they were ready to go. They didn't flinch.
And also today, you had a lot on your plate, coaching offensive line. Who did you lean on to help you?
Yeah, I mean Jesse on defense. When the defense was up, let Jesse coach the defense. If he needed to use a timeout, he did. Mike Hart would relief and let me know if I needed anything, and then offensively we did. So it was very cohesive. And then as the whole staff, man, we just did such a great job together.
Steve?
Sherrone, if you could talk, 2-part question about what Blake and Donovan did, breaking the runs they did, and what your blockers, you went with a heavy, sometimes 7 linemen, what your blockers did.
I mean, Blake and Dono, it was positive gain after positive gain, and then, we always say sometimes those 3 and 4s turn into 15, 16, and all of a sudden it's a 40-yarder. And that's what it was, and it came to that fruition. And then as far up front, man, I'm just proud of those guys up front. They've taken a lot of ridicule and saying, oh, they haven't ran the ball well and done this, and they really asserted themselves this week in practice. And you can tell they took a lot of pride in it. And then adding the 7 offensive lineman thing was a little wrinkle that kind of had up for a while, and decided to burst it out. I thought this would be the game to do it. And the guys, Miles and Trent, they came there for some significant snaps and did a really good job for us.
Ryan?
Sherrone, how surprised were you to see Penn State go for a 2-point conversion that early in the game, and then again to go for a 4th down with just over 4 minutes left to go?
Yeah, the early one I was pretty surprised with, but the later one I thought that they would go for it then. But the early one I was pretty surprised with. So, decision that they made, and glad our defense is our defense.
Steve? Did you have a question, Steve, or Bojo?
I guess you guys FaceTimed with Harbaugh after the game, and what was was he watching from a hotel, and what was his last words to you when you left? No words?
No, that's it.
What about on the FaceTime after the game?
That's it. Yeah, that's it.
On the left here.
I know kind of in a way you guys practiced for this reality before the season, the first few games, but at what point this week were you told that it would be viewed just in case?
I mean, coach has always alluded to that. You know, he alluded early in the week. Don't know, remember what the exact point was, but told me, hey, you know, if something happens, you'll be the guy. But for us, it's just a team. So regardless if it was me, if it was somebody else, the team is the most important piece of it. So it doesn't, you know, this football team is bigger than one person. We always say that. So it really didn't matter, and we were ready to go either way.
Chris?
There's this media narrative being driven that the only reason you guys won the last 2 years is because you cheated. How do you respond to that?
Yeah, I'm not going to comment on any of that.
Adam?
Sure, you have ambitions, obviously, to be a head coach, but how will you look back on this day and everything that's happened leading into it, and obviously the moment itself?
I mean, I think the biggest thing for me is to live in the moment, stay here, stay in the now, continue to just, you know, anything that comes in our way, just look at the next step, don't look at down the road, because you can't control everything. So just take every day, a second at a time, a day at a time. You know, adversity is going to come, and then what are you going to do with the adversity? You're going to shy from it, or you're going to go through it. And I think our kids really did that today.
Charlie?
Sherrone, you touched lightly on the defense, but you know they had that goal line stand early in the first half that led to only 3 points, and they mostly kept Aller contained throughout the game. What did you see from them? Who really stood out to you on defense?
I mean, everybody. Those guys fly around. I won't argue. I'll say they are the best defense in the country. They play fast up front. We see it in practice. It's a pain in the butt to block. You can't. It's hard to get open. So everybody on defense, and then Coach Jesse Menterman and that staff, they do an unbelievable job scheming up every week. So it's just a group effort of players, of coaches that make that thing run.
John?
Obviously, you have a job to do and don't want anybody out of control out there, but do you think that because the players knew that their head coach was not out there for unfair reasons, maybe in their minds, that they might have played with a little angrier edge?
No, I think, you know, big thing Coach told us last night, he told them to play angry. He wanted them to play angry. He wanted to play them with that fire, and they did. So I don't think it was anything. It wasn't a vengeance thing. It was hey, let's go play for Michigan. Let's play for each other, and let's go play fast, and let's go play physical.
Got time for about 3 more because we got players out front. We're going to go all the way back.
With the timeline of everything, this could have been a huge distraction for some, but your team obviously prevailed. What would you say about the resilience they've shown through this adversity?
Yeah, I think it just describes who they are. I mean, they're a special group of kids, a special group of coaches. We got one-track mind, so we'll go home, heal up, ready to go, and get ready for Maryland. We all know what's ahead after that, but we're just taking it a game at a time, and that's all we're going to do.
We're going to go Aaron, then Michael.
This team's been criticized a lot recently, on and off the field for different things. What are you most proud about that essence?
How they block out everything, how they just keep pushing, they keep working, and you know we know everybody in that locker room, in that building, that university is for us, with us, and that's all we're worried about.
Last question, Michael.
Sherrone, when it comes to trying to get these guys to block everything out, how do you get 100+ kids that are 19 to 22 to not pay attention to all that outside stuff, and how do they stay committed to it?
Because they know what the end goal is. They understand how hard they've worked to get to this point, and they're not going to let anything in their way to distraction to get to the goal that we need to get to.
All right, thank you.